Sri R. Subramaniam, Secretary, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Human Resource, Government of India, Professor P.N. Shastri, Vice Chancellor, Rashtriya Sanskrit Sanshatan Deemed University under HRD, Government of India, Professor D.G. Rao, Director, Central Language Institute, Sri Sanjay Kumar Sinha, Joint Secretary, Management and Languages, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Human Resource Development, learned professors, the great sons of this great Bharata Mata, who are all distinguished in different languages, different fields. I see really the entire Vijnana Khani of our Indian languages in front of me today. The entire, the knowledge givers, the experts in various subjects, they're all there in front of me. What a great treat, what a great occasion, what a great pious occasion. And I feel really very, very happy as the Vice President of India. My dear brothers and sisters, I am a lover of Indian languages. I always feel we must promote, protect, propagate in all our ancient languages. That is the need of the hour, because there is so much knowledge, treasure of knowledge in every language, in every literature. So all that should be brought out. That is possible only if you encourage people who are experts in various languages so that they can bring out the knowledge that is there hidden in the books. I am indeed blessed to be among the eminent linguists and scholars today and present the President Award honors to them for their service to the preservation and development of classical language. This felicitation is to give inspiration to the new generation. That is the purpose of this felicitation. ये हमारा भारतीय परंपरा है, प्रतिभा को पहचान करके उसको पुरस्कार करना, सम्मान करना, आदि काल से, वेद काल से, पुण्य काल से, पुराण काल से हमारा पूर्वजों ने जिया और दिया, विरासत में हमको मिला, ये भारतीय परंपरा है। मैं बहुत प्रसन्न हूं, मानव संसाधन मंत्रालय भारत सरकार ऐसी महानुभावों को पहचान के उनका सम्मान और पुरस्कार देने का काम कर रहे हैं। I heartily welcome all the renowned scholars who are keeping alive the traditional knowledge and who are acting as the intellectual bridges between the past and the present. The great Indian poet Acharya Dandi has said that if the light of language does not exist, then we will be groping in a dark world. Language is a tool for intellectual and emotional expression. Language is a vehicle of intergenerational transmission of culture, scientific knowledge, and a world view. It is the vital, unseen thread that links the past with the present. It evolves with human evolution and gets nourished by constant use. I have always emphasized the importance of protecting and conserving our linguistic heritage. Our languages are a crucial part of our history, our culture, our evolution as a society. In fact, they define our identity. Traditions and customs, they play a significant role in creating and strengthening bonds among the people. Ours is a multilingual country where more than 19,500 bhasha or dialects are spoken in this great land. However, almost 97% of the population speaks one of the 22 scheduled languages. The modern India languages have ancient roots and are derived in some way from the classical languages. There is a rich literary tradition in many languages especially once recognized on classical languages by the Government of India. Sanskrit, of course, is the oldest Indo-European language dating back to the second millennium BC. The Western countries, they are doing research on Sanskrit, but somehow we are unfortunately ignoring it. That means when we are ignoring Sanskrit means you are ignoring your past, your culture. This has to be understood by all. The Indologist William Jones has said in 1786, I quote, "The Sanskrit language, whatever be its antiquity, is of a wonderful structure, more perfect than Greek, more copious than the Latin, and more exquisitely refined than either, yet bearing to both of them a stronger affinity, both in roots of verbs and the forms of grammar." This is what has been said. As Rensburg from the University of Amsterdam has said, I quote, "The history of linguistics begins not with Plato or Aristotle, but with the Indian grammar Panini." This is the statement given by. Some languages have been given classical language status because of their ancient literary heritage. For instance, Tamil literature dates back to 500 BC, Telugu to 400 BC, Kannada to 450 BC, Malayalam to 1198 AD, and Odia to 800 AD. Each of these languages have a rich treasure house of literature, starting from Sangam literature and Thola Kaupiyam in Tamil, Kavitrayams in Andhra Mahabharatam in Telugu, Ramacharitam of Cheraman in Malayalam, Kaviraja Marga of Amogha Varsha in Kannada, and Karavela's inscriptions in Odia. For each of the population speaking these languages, their literature is a matter of pride and distinct identity, and the language is a goddess to be revered. There are songs in praise of these languages like Ma Telugu Talliki Mallepu Danda in Telugu, Jai Bharata Jananiya Tanujate in Kannada, and Tamil Thai Valtu in Tamil. These songs send listeners into raptures, and people sing in unison, Valtudume, Valtudume, Jai Bharata Janani Tanujate, Jai Telugu Talli in different languages, in different ways. The classical language provides the window to our past, to the civilization values of yesteryears, to the knowledge and wisdom of our ancient thinkers, scientists, poets, sages, doctors, philosophers, and rulers. If we don't preserve and sustain this link, we lose a very precious key to the treasure house we have all inherited. Studies by experts estimate that almost 600 languages are on the verge of extinction. It's a matter of concern. And that more than 250 languages have disappeared in the past 60 years. When a language dies, the entire culture dies. We simply cannot let that to happen. Protecting our cultural heritage, including language, is our constitutional mandated duty. ये हमारा कर्तव्य है. निष्ठा से कर्तव्य को पूरा करना है. Studying ancient texts and propagating them to modern audience is the need of the hour. I am glad that today we are recognizing the scholars who are engaged in this sacred mission. Since studying the classical language and literature would provide access to authentic source of history, National Mission for Manuscripts was set up when Sriman Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. The major objective of the mission is to unearth the vast manuscript wealth in India and use modern and indigenous techniques to conserve them. It is estimated that in India we possess around 10 million manuscripts, probably the largest collection in the world. In their foreword to Sanskrit Computation Linguistics written in 2009, Gerard Hewitt, Amba Kulkarni and Peter Scarf have said, I quote, extant manuscripts in Sanskrit number over 30 million, 100 times those in Greek and Latin combined. constituting the largest cultural heritage that any civilization produced prior to the invention of the printing press. This is what has been said about our languages. Preservation of ancient texts is only the first step. What we need to do is encourage scholars to do research using these primary sources and unearth new nuggets of knowledge. We must keep on adding to the knowledge and illuminate our present and future. I am happy to note that the Indian government scheme seeks to reward dedicated scholars both in India and abroad for the development of various classical languages. I am told that the purpose of the scheme is to recognize the lifelong work of the scholars and the talented scholars of Sanskrit, Pali, Prakriti, Arabic, Persian, classical Telugu, classical Kannada, classical Odia and classical Malayalam languages. Dear sisters and brothers, language preservation and development needs a multi-pronged approach. It should begin at the primary school level and should be continued to higher levels of education. Functional literacy in at least one language should be ensured. I am of the firm opinion that the education primarily up to the high school level must be in the mother tongue of the child only. क्योंकि भाषा और भावना एक साथ चलता है. तो मातृभाषा को परिरक्षण करने के लिए उद्यम प्रारंभ करने के लिए समय आया. क्योंकि हम सब लोग ब्रिटिश का बहुत साल उनका राज्य में रहने के बाद हमारा माइंडसेट भी थोड़ा चेंज हो गया. लोग सोचते इंग्लिश के बिना भविष्य नहीं है. इंग्लिश सीखने में कोई गलती नहीं है, सीखना चाहिए, मगर क्यों अपना मातृभाषा को बोलना है? तमिल को, तेलुगु को, कन्नड़ा को, मलयालम को, मराठी को, असमी को, पंजाबी को, भोजपुरी को, कश्मीरी को, डोगरी को, नहीं तो उर्दू को क्यों बोलना चाहिए? हमारा पुराना भाषा जो पारनी है उसको क्यों बोलना चाहिए? इसको प्रोत्साहन करना चाहिए. कारण कि मैं हमेशा कहता हूं मातृभाषा जैसा आपका आंख है ना, ऐसा है, और दूसरी भाषा पराई भाषा चश्मा ऐसा है. आंख है तो चश्मा काम करेगा. If you have the eyesight, then you will develop foresight also by using your spectacles. If you don't know your mother tongue, then how do you have your original ideas? That is very much important. That's why the entire country should seriously think, center, state, political parties, all the people who are interested in the cultural heritage of this country should seriously ponder. And some people have the doubts, sir, इंग्लिश मीडियम नहीं पढ़े तो ऊपर नहीं जा पाएंगे. भगवान ने ऐसा कोई नियम नहीं रखा ऊपर आने के लिए. अंग्रेजी क्या मालूम है? भगवान को सभी भाषा, अल्लाह को सभी भाषा मालूम है, जीसस को भी सभी भाषा मालूम है, उसमें कोई नियम नहीं है. तो जैसे मैंने कहा, उन्होंने कहा नहीं ऐसा नहीं सर, ऊपर माने थोड़ा हायर लेवल में जाने के लिए अंग्रेजी चाहिए. मैंने कहा मेरे इलाका में, मैंने कहा वो एडप्पाडी पळनिस्वामी मुख्यमंत्री तमिलनाडु कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं. कुमारस्वामी कर्नाटक मुख्यमंत्री कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं. चंद्रबाबू नायडू मुख्यमंत्री आंध्र प्रदेश कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं. और चंद्रशेखर राव मुख्यमंत्री तेलंगाना कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं. भारत का प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी कॉन्वेंट देखा नहीं बचपन में. भारत का उपराष्ट्रपति वेंकैया नायडू कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं, यहां तक पहुंच गया. भारत का राष्ट्रपति रामनाथ जी कोविंद जी भी कभी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं. अब्दुल कलाम जी भी कॉन्वेंट गया नहीं, फिर भी यहां तक पहुंच गए ऊपर तक. मिसाइल मैन. तो क्वेश्चन इज ऑफ बेसिक एजुकेशन. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट वी शुड नॉट लर्न एज मेनी लैंग्वेजेस एज पॉसिबल. Learn as not only Indian language, learn even Chinese, Russian, Persian, all other languages also. But do not ignore your mother tongue. This has to be stressed. मातृभाषा में बोलने में मजा आता है, आनंद आता है। आप अनुभव करिए एक बार, कहिए अभी ग्रामीण इलाका में भी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, बच्चों का नहीं है प्रॉब्लम, जो अनपढ़ लोग हैं ना, माँ और बाप, उनका भी वो लोग का प्रॉब्लम है। वो कहते बाबू मम्मी डैडी कहो। अरे मम्मी डैडी बीड़ी जैडी केडी क्यों? हमारा मातृभाषा है माँ, अम्मा, माँ अंतराल से आता है, मम्मी यहां से आता है। एक बार ट्राई करके देखिए रात को जाके, अम्मी उर्दू में, ये तो अम्मा, माँ, तो अंतराल से आता है मातृभाषा में। तो हमेशा मातृभाषा का संरक्षण करने के लिए पूरा प्रयास होना चाहिए। और साथ ही साथ मैं चाहता हूं उत्तर भारतीय लोग एक दक्षिण भारतीय भाषा और दक्षिण भारत का लोग एक उत्तर भारतीय भाषा सीखने के लिए कोशिश करना चाहिए। क्यों? राष्ट्रीय एकता होगा। अलग भाषा, अलग वेश, फिर भी अपना एक देश, विविधता में एकता, भारत का विशेषता, दैट इज द ग्रेटनेस ऑफ इंडिया। इसलिए जब मैं उपराष्ट्रपति बना है तो मैंने राज्यसभा का भी चेयरमैन भी हूं, तो राज्यसभा में मैंने देखा कुछ लोग चाहते थे अपना मातृभाषा में बोलने के लिए। मैंने वहां नियम परिवर्तन करके मैंने मौका दिया, 22 भाषा जो संविधान में रिकॉग्नाइज्ड है, 22 भाषाओं में कोई भी भाषा में सदस्य बोल सकते हैं राज्यसभा में, ऐसा मैंने नियम में बदलाव लाया। ऐसा इसको तर्जुमा करने वाले व्यवस्था भी किया। ऐसी होना चाहिए। आप देखते रहिए, टीवी देखते हैं ना, प्रधानमंत्री से मिलने के लिए रशिया प्रेसिडेंट आते हैं, चाइनीज प्रेसिडेंट आते हैं, तो ईरान प्रेसिडेंट आते, नहीं तो जर्मनी प्रेसिडेंट आते, फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट आते। वो लोग अंग्रेजी में बोलते नहीं, वो अपना भाषा में बोलते, बगल में एक व्यक्ति बैठते, वो ट्रांसलेट करते रहते। मैंने सुषमा जी से पूछा, विदेश मंत्री, क्या सुषमा जी लोगों को अंग्रेजी मालूम नहीं क्या? उन्होंने कहा कुछ लोगों को मालूम है, मगर वो अंग्रेजी बोलना पसंद नहीं करते, अपना मातृभाषा में बोलना ही वो पसंद करते। केवल हमारा देश में ये वीकनेस है, आए नहीं आए कुछ ना कुछ शब्द अंग्रेजी में बोलना। मैं अंग्रेजी के खिलाफ नहीं, अंग्रेजी ऑल्सो, यू शुड लर्न इंग्लिश ऑल्सो, बट वी शुड प्रमोट अवर इंडियन लैंग्वेज first and then learn as many languages as possible. More and more people should start using their native language at home, in the community, in the meetings and in administration. More people should write poetry, stories, novels and dramas in their languages. We must accord a sense of dignity and a sense of pride to those who speak, write and communicate in these languages. We must encourage Indian languages, publications, journals and children's books. Dialects and folk literature must be given adequate focus. Language should become a catalyst for inclusive development. Language promotion should be an integral part of good governance. Sisters and brothers, today we are living in a rapidly changing world in which technology is transforming the way we live and work. We must harness the power of technology to preserve and promote our language and culture. Our language is so beautiful. Throughout the day, you can use one word and the message is conveyed. You go to English, they say, good morning, okay, good afternoon, then good evening, then good night. In India, we say namaskara. Namaskara is our samskara. Simple. Morning namaskara, afternoon namaskara, evening namaskara, even night also namaskara. With one word, namaste, to the teacher, to the elders. This is how we have to really feel happy and feel proud of using our languages. I am glad that today we are taking an important step in that direction. We must harness the power of technology to preserve and promote our language and culture. I am delighted to release linguistic data resource for artificial intelligence. This fills a major gap in our existing IT architecture. The resource required to develop languages, technology and artificial intelligence-based tools are inadequate or unavailable for many Indian languages. To fill this gap, the Government of India has launched the scheme of Linguistic Data Consortium for the Indian Languages, LDCIL, in 2008 and has been preparing high-quality linguistic resources since over the last 11 years in all the scheduled languages of India. Today, we have also released 31 large text and speech data sets in 19 scheduled Indian languages. These are the largest corpora for these languages available so far in the public domain. Along with this, I am happy that a data distribution portal is also launched, where more and varied data sets will be added in the coming days using several types of artificial intelligence-based technologies such as automatic dictation, speech recognition, language understanding, machine translation, grammar and spell check. While these data sets are available for free to the academic and not-for-profit research organizations, these are also available to industry at a very economical cost. I am sure that the release of these resources mark the beginning of new era for the availability of cutting-edge IT tools in Indian languages and breaks the language barrier in the digital domain. Dear friends, our lives are impacted by artificial intelligence on a daily basis at every level. If you can use artificial intelligence and build capabilities and tools in local languages, it can certainly help us to democratize knowledge acquisition as well as knowledge preservation and development. We must have many more technological tools for communication in local languages to serve the needs of our people speaking different languages. The mission of Digital India can be a mission for literate India and a mission for an inclusive knowledge society. The Central Institute of Indian Languages, MISO, has been doing commendable work to provide the linguistic resource in Indian languages. I do hope they will continue these efforts with much more vigor, renewed enthusiasm. With a total of 31 data sets in 19 scheduled languages presently available for the download, I hope that all technical research institutes, startups, researchers will be able to take advantage of this data basis. I would like to once again congratulate all the distinguished scholars. My best wishes to the Ministry of Human Resource Development and the institutes engaged in the preservation, propagation, promotion, popularization of Indian languages. मैं आप सभी विद्वत जनों को राष्ट्रपति पुरस्कार से सम्मानित होने की हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं। बहनों और भाइयों, भारतीय परंपरा में माना गया है कि सृष्टि का निर्माण ही शब्दनाद से हुई है। मानव का व्यक्तित्व और विचार, संसार भाषा से ही बनते हैं। भाषा ही विविधता का अपना सौंदर्य है। भाषाओं के उपवन में ही विचारों और अभिव्यक्ति के फूल खिलते हैं। किसी भाषा के समाप्त होने के साथ एक संस्कृति, उसका संस्कार, बोध विलुप्त होता है। मानव चेतना की विकास श्रृंखला में एक अपूर्णनीय रिक्तता आती है। यदि हम विदेशी भाषाओं सीख सकते हैं तो हम भारतीय भाषाओं को कहीं आसानी से सीख सकते हैं। उनके समृद्ध साहित्य को आसानी से समझ सकते हैं। साहित्य अकादमी, नेशनल बुक ट्रस्ट जैसी संस्थाओं के विभिन्न भारतीय भाषाओं के श्रेष्ठ साहित्य का सरल, सुगम अनुवाद उपलब्ध कराना चाहिए। हमारे संस्कार एक है, हमारी संवेदना है, समान है। सदियों का सांस्कृतिक आदान प्रदान हमारी प्राचीन भाषाओं के साहित्य में झलकता है। सम्माननीय विद्वत जन, जैसा मैंने शुरू में कहा, मैं सचमुच में मन में बहुत प्रसन्न हूं। इस कार्यक्रम में भाग लेने का जो मुझे अवसर मिला है, आप सभी महानुभावों का दर्शन करने के लिए भी सौभाग्य मिला है। सदियों का सांस्कृतिक आदान प्रदान हमारा प्राचीन भाषाओं में झलकता है। भारत की अद्भुत भाषाई विविधता हमारी साहित्य के धरोहर के संरक्षण में आपका महत्वपूर्ण सहयोगी अपेक्षित है। आप भारत के साहित्यिक और सांस्कृतिक पुनर्जागरण पुरोता बने। समाज आपसे मार्गदर्शन की अपेक्षा करते हैं। धन्यवाद, धन्यवादमुलु, नंद्री, वणक्कम, धन्यवादः, थैंक यू। Namaskar, Jai Hind.